This study is based on the combined work of the Leading Edge and Analytic Partners. The Leading Edge first ran this study in 2014. In 2017, Analytic Partners joined the study, combining our results into one big database. In 2019, we're now doing this study for the third time for oOh!media. The Leading Edge is a global boutique based out of Sydney that was formed to be able to help clients navigate complexity. Analytic Partners is a privately held company based out of New York with offices in Sydney and in Melbourne. We don't sell media, we don't sell technology. The only game that we have in doing our projects is helping a client maximize their ROI to the point that it's so great they need to do another study with us. We've been named one of the leaders in this field by Forrester. They do a study called Marketing Measurement and Optimization Wave. The last two times this has been run globally, in 2016 and 2018, they've called us one of the global leaders. At the end of 2018, they finally ran a wave focused just on Asia Pacific. In this study, they called us the only leader in the region. All of these optimizations have been run through what's called market mix models or unified measurement models. They're a big mathematical technique, econometrics, that we use to work out what are the drivers of sales. So we're taking 3 years worth of sales, we do it at a weekly level. We think, we break that by all of the different channels you've got, we break it across state. Really, we're trying to collect everything that we can get our hands on. So you think some of those base variables, your price, your competitor's price when you go on promotion, the sort of distribution that you have, when you do new pack formulations, launch new products, when there's some PR, all of your media at the most granular level that we can get our hands on. So you're thinking not just TV, but the channels, the durations, the weightings, what day it was on, what day part it was on, all of those sorts of things. But then we're also looking at the bigger macro issues as well. So we're bringing in the weather, we're bringing in seasonality, absolutely everything that we can, economic sentiment, to be able to work out why your sales were what they were. Now, when we're looking at that, we're trying to see, as there's a change in that particular variable, what happens to sales? So in the example of TV, as you flight one tarp, what happens to sales? And as you stop flighting that tarp after a certain time, what happens to your sales? And it's that relationship between doing a bit more of it, doing a bit less of it, and an impact coming through in sales that lets us break everything out. And we're not looking at it on the absolute sense in terms of you were on TV, it's the level of all of those activities. And that means that even though everything's happening at the same time, we're still able to break them all apart. So even for a 1% change in consumer confidence, we're able to say what the impact on sales was and hopefully what it would be going forwards. So this is the best way to be able to break apart those impacts, because if we know how much volume we're getting from your marketing, we know how much it costs you, we can work out what the ROI is. Then we can start saying, okay, what would be the optimal way to layer up that campaign? This study is anchored in two big databases that we have. One is our global ROI genome database, which has got in excess of $460 billion worth of marketing behind it. Then we deep dive into Australia. Now this is where we're using the combined work of the Leading Edge and Analytic Partners. So here we have over 140 brands with over 350 campaigns and a total spend within that pot of $9 billion. So it's particularly strong, big and rigorous, and it's really letting us cut and slice the results that we're seeing there. Now there's two things that I need to tell you about these results. One, all of these studies have been done purely for the client. That means there's been no work, no modelling work commissioned by oOh!media, no work's been run for them. All of the studies were done purely to maximise the ROI of that client, rather than to try and find some sort of a compelling story for out-of-home media. The second one is, in order to use the study, we needed to make all of the ROIs comparable and also make sure that we don't show you anything that should be confidential. So the easiest way to do that and to deal with the fact that if you're selling a can of baked beans or you're selling a home loan, you're going to be getting a different profit, is to benchmark everything relative to itself. So given that TVs are most of the campaigns, we're looking to say, if you make $1 for TV, what do you make across all of your other media? That means it's comparable, and at the end of the day, what we're trying to look at here is the relativity between media channels rather than the absolute itself. Running the study for the third time, oOh!media gave us the challenge of how we could maximize ROI for marketers overall. So in order to do that, we've broken the study into 6 sections. So firstly, what's the ROI of all media? What's the synergy impact across that media rather than having a focus on just one channel? But interestingly in this one, also breaking out of home to say, what's the synergy of having multiple out-of-home formats? What generates a better ROI, having a long-term buy or having a short-term buy strategy? What would happen to Australian advertisers if they increase the percentage of out-of-home within a campaign? What's the impact of creative on out-of-home results? And then how do these Australian ROIs compare to global averages that we're seeing? What we've been able to develop with O is an extremely robust and accurate study that helps advertisers and their agencies better understand how out-of-home can truly play a huge role in delivering unmissable campaigns.